Welcome to the latest episode of the Closer's Corner podcast. I'm your host, as always, Greg Simpson. And today I have with me today, Nina. I'm not even try to pronounce your last name.
That's
you can
okay.
introduce that. She goes by Nina Ina, right? So close enough, right?
Nina Ibrahimbegovic. Courtesy of my husband.
There you go. All right. So Nina is one of our brand new agents here at Outfast Realty and Investments. So Nina, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks
This is
for
also her
having me.
first podcast, so go easy on her.
Yeah.
Everyone that watches or listens to this.
But
okay?
not my last.
Not your last. Yep.
Yeah.
She has some big goals, which we can maybe talk about later, about being on some podcasts later. So if you're a podcast host, you might want to have her on. So you tell us a little bit about how your real estate journey got started however many years ago. It seems like you've been doing this a little while now.
Close to 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Close to 6 years. I was actually in school. I went to school for a very long time to do my doctorate, and I basically got started in real estate because I had a lot of student loans
Okay.
from doing my doctorate and going to school for 8 years. And, a lot of times people get into the mind, like where I come from, you're either a doctor or a lawyer or you go to study economics. There's really no in between. And so, one of the things that I really had to get over was that you can be successful in other fields like real estate.
Okay.
So I got into real estate to pay off that student loan debt, and I started investing, and that's where I really found my passion.
Okay.
So
What were you in school for a doctor for? Like what kind of doctor were you
Pharmacy.
trying to? Pharmacy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Did you actually get your doctorate and everything and you just didn't
Yeah.
like it?
I couldn't stay. Well, when you're that young, they make you, pick what you want to do for the rest of your life.
Right.
You have no idea what you're gonna like. Like you're
It's
young
crazy,
and
like-
you're stupid and.
But it's not just that profession. It's every, like, you go
Yeah.
to college and it's like, you must pick this. And it's like,
Yeah.
if that doesn't, you find out like 3 years in you don't like it, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah,
Or you
well,
find out, like,
that's
there's
what
no jobs
happened
for
to
that.
me. I went from my undergrad. I did an undergrad in clinical biology and then histology and pathology.
Wow.
And I found out I didn't like that, and I was like, I have to go do something else. I was like, why don't I go do pharmacy? And funny thing is that when I was studying for that, this doctor, I was actually thinking about going into medicine. This doctor came in, and I tell this story a lot. And he said, yeah, I'm retiring, so I'm working part-time right now. And I was like, well, how many hours are you working? He's like, 40. And I'm thinking to myself, like,
Oh, boy.
yeah, I was like, how many hours did you work when you were full-time? And he's like, 80. I was like, I can't do that. And so
Yeah.
I didn't go into medicine. But right now, I'm kind of working those hours. But I love what I'm doing, so it doesn't really feel
Big
like
difference,
work.
right? Yeah.
So it's a big difference.
And you have to work for yourself for the most part, right?
Yeah, I
So
do.
that's a big difference, right? So what was it about real estate that kind of like piqued your interest more than anything? Obviously, there's lots of money you can make in that, but was it something else, or was that really the driving factor because of those student loans?
Well, the student loans, once you have, I had a lot of debt because 1 year it was like 30,000, 40,000 for the
Yeesh.
doctorate. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it was expensive. And once I graduated, when you go to school, they tell you, sign here. You don't really think about interest. They don't teach you about that in school. I just
Right.
studied about, pharmacology and pharmacokinetics and histology, clinical biology. And when you sign those, student loans, you don't really think about, you think, oh, well, I'm going to earn, 100, when you come out of pharmacy school, you earn about 100,000, 100 to 120, and you think, oh, I could just pay that off in 1 year. But nobody factors in,
You
Uncle
gotta live.
Sam,
Yeah.
rent,
You
you gotta eat.
Yeah.
You gotta do this, and so that's where I kind of changed my mindset. I started listening and I started reading Mr. Money Mustache.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that.
No, that's like being really frugal so that you
Okay.
can pay off your debt.
Okay.
And like Dave Ramsey.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I used to spend a lot of money when I was, I was growing up
Didn't we all?
on student loans and
Okay.
yeah, so I did that. But yeah, that's why I got into it. And when we bought our first condo, me and my husband, and it was a foreclosure, and we bought it for like $25,000, and 6 months later we just painted inside, and we changed the floors, and I sold it for $50,000.
And
So
that was the hook,
yeah,
right?
that was the hook. So we started with live-in flips.
Okay.
And back in the day when you know, obviously you can't buy a condo for $25,000 anymore.
Not in Tampa Bay.
Nowhere, I think. But you can still do live-in flips, and I think that's a great way to get started. And also house hacking.
Right.
Like if you.
So you guys
there's
use an FHA loan for that, or did you guys pay cash
We
for it?
didn't. We used a 5% conventional.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if they loan
Yeah.
back on
Yeah.
25 grand.
Yeah,
Wow.
back in the day.
And so you guys roughly, were you an agent at that point or no?
No, I wasn't.
No. So
no.
you guys did pretty good though. I mean,
Yeah,
you
it was really good.
doubled your money gross wise, obviously. Did you guys sell it with an
We-
agent?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had a little closing cost, but yeah, you did pretty good.
And we
especially
sold
paying
it to a
for-
cash buyer
Oh, even better.
because it couldn't have appraised. So
Ah,
yeah, we decorated it really nice. That's
Mhm.
kind of like my specialty.
okay.
And it looked really nice. We did professional photography, and it sold for a good price.
Very good.
So
So that was 6 years ago, you said?
yeah, that was in 2014, like
Okay.
going on 2015.
Back when it was still a good buyer's
Yeah.
market.
Yeah.
You know,
I
today's not so
wish-
much.
I wish I would have spent the $140,000 in real estate instead of going to school.
I tell a story all the time. Like, I didn't even get into real estate. I don't know how old you are. I'm not going to ask you because it's not polite. But I'm 38, and I got into business when I was 30, right?
Yeah.
Just turning 30. I think it was 29, getting ready to turn 30. I didn't know any of this stuff back when I was like a teenager or in college or
Yeah.
even in my mid to late 20s. Like, man, I wish I knew like even a tenth of what I know now back
I
then,
know.
because I would have never opened up my one business, right? I'd have just, so like I meet like guys like Connor and other people who are 18 years old getting into wholesaling, or, I'm just like, dude, where was social media or TikTok or any of that stuff
They
back
have
when I
it
was
so
a kid?
easy, yeah.
They do have it so easy. But not everything you see on TikTok or Instagram is legit and
Yeah.
easy.
That's true.
So, all right. So you've been doing it for 6 years. How long have you been an actual agent, though?
Six
You got
years.
you did
Yeah.
after that? Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me, why did you decide to get your license? You didn't want to pay the fee anymore, or how did that come about?
I just thought I could do it for myself,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I got started. And I saw the money was there, and that you could make good money from it.
Mhm.
Faster way to pay off the student loan debt, and that's basically why I got into it.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's this.
I'm
ahead.
sorry. You know what I forgot? I read Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Same.
Oh my God, I totally forgot about that.
Best book
on my
ever.
last year of my doctorate.
Okay.
So, talk about great timing.
Mm-hmm.
Because what they teach you, for those who haven't really haven't read the book, they say that it's about a rich person who had all these businesses and a poor person who had had his doctorate. And so that was not the best time to have read that book.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's funny, like I actually read that book after I had taken the huge seminar program that my dad and I did 9 years ago now. And even after going through that seminar, which was good, it wasn't great, it wasn't worth the money, blah, blah, blah. That book was what actually, it all clicked
yeah,
from
it's a
that
mindset
book. And I wish I'd have read the book before we did the seminars and stuff,
Yeah.
but I literally went on a vacation with my wife, or now wife, to the mountains of North Carolina, and I just sat and read that book in like 3 days. Like it was
Yeah.
just
It was an easy book.
easy book to read, very, very dumbed down version, if you will, of how this all works. But it's like it literally was what clicked it for me too. So that book, I tell
Yeah.
everyone to read that book first. There's lots of books over on my shelf over there
Yeah.
that have similar things along, but that's the book that everyone should read first.
It's a mindset
Mm-hmm.
changing book.
Yep, I need to go back and read it again. It's been a long time since I've read it. So
I know, right?
because like when I read that book, then I literally read, I think, every other book that he had at that point, like just the cash flow quadrants,
Yeah.
Who Stole My Money or whatever, that one book he has about about paying taxes and how to not pay taxes.
That
in real
was
estate.
that was great.
All of it.
Yeah.
All of those books are fantastic, and I got all the audiobooks too because that's just he's a phenomenal teacher for sure. So you got your license, you've been flipping houses, you've got rental properties now. What's your favorite part about real estate in general right now? or what has been? Like, because obviously I've evolved myself, so there's obviously an evolution of how we start versus where we are now. What has been your favorite part about real estate?
I think because it's so diverse, you could do a lot of things. You don't have to just stick to one thing. So you could do flips if that's what you like. You can have rentals, passive income if that's what you like. I do short-term rentals as well. I do Airbnbs, and that's been super fun because I get to use my creative side. I'm starting a staging company right now, so that's super fun. Yeah. So, there's just so many, you don't have to do everything. There's syndications, there's, and I think the best part is I get to meet a lot of cool people.
That's one of my favorite parts of this, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm always introduced to new people, and you get to talk to people, and I'm not stuck inside of four walls inside of a pharmacy, so I get to go out there and socialize. And I think our industry has a lot of really cool, ambitious people that you can, meet and get to talk to and everything. So that's my favorite part.
I think the really cool part about real estate too, piggybacking off that, is that so many people that we talk about, the cool people we're talking about, are the people that are willing to share.
Yeah.
They're willing to tell us what they've done to be successful, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole reason that's what I do, right? I have the RIA, I have, you guys have 80 people. I'm happy to sit down with you and go show you how I do my marketing to get my seller leads.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with buyers, so I'm not an agent. I don't want to deal with buyers. I mean, we deal with investor buyers if we want to wholesale stuff, right? Which we don't do a ton of. But I can show you guys. I'll show you all the tricks.
And that's why I joined.
Yeah. But that's the thing is we're not here. Like Jeremy Cloder, our broker, and my partner made a post on social last week. It was we don't feel like we're winning unless y'all are winning together. Because it's just not fair. Not fair. It's just not our mentality. It's not our culture to hog it all. Hog all.
Yeah, it's an abundance mindset.
Yeah. And so we really do feel like if we're not winning, you're not winning. And if you are winning, we are winning. It's even if we're having a bad month, you guys are winning. It just pumps us up and makes us feel better.
And that's the best part.
It is the best part. So I'm an open book. You guys can come in here. Any of you guys watching this, if you're part of our team, you can come in. I've been trying to tell you guys, I'll teach you how to wholesale without having to wholesale. Because we don't wholesale much. We've got, I think, 3 deals we're actually doing this month, but it's the first. I haven't done wholesaling.
That's still a lot.
That's a lot, but I haven't done. I used to do 3 to 5 a month, on a regular basis, and I haven't done. I've done one a year for the last 2 or 3 years. I'm not, it's just not my thing anymore. But it's fun.
You had other focuses.
Yeah, exactly. So if I want to go back, if you could pick one thing of all things you're doing though, what is your favorite aspect? Is it the short term, or is it the flips? What do you think is the absolute favorite thing you like to do? I'm just curious for myself.
I definitely don't like managing. So I have an assistant that does that, but my job, part of my job is going in and flipping the Airbnbs and then staging them. So I really like that.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of funny how that happened here between a lot of agents that we do have.
Yeah.
Amazing how many creative people that we have, like Shannon and Salem and Claudia and Patricia and you as well, who are all doing these crazy designs and wonderful designs. I never thought that would be a niche that came about from what we were doing with the investment side, because our whole mentality is that thing, the hustle, the grind, it's just funny how you ladies have literally transformed. Andrea as well, you guys have all transformed how people see what we're doing here. It's just kind of a cool
and amazing
thing.
Designs too.
Yeah, not just half-ass stuff. I'm a half-ass designer. I want to be in and out as fast as possible, fun out fast. But my houses that I flip are typically pretty cookie cutter unless I hire one of you guys to design it for me. So
yeah, I design my Airbnbs pretty, but my flips I do what I can, because with flips it's all about how you make the numbers work. So that's really important.
ROI, it's all that matters.
That's right.
How fast can you literally get out of the house? And so I'm that same mentality. If you want to add some flair to it, by all means, but just give me my white shaker cabinets with my standard handles and standard
gray walls.
The gray walls, white trim. That's all I need.
Yeah.
They sell fast, so I don't want to change the model. So let's talk about last year. You did right around 15 million, maybe a little bit more based on the statistics that we talked about. How are you doing $15 million a year? And I know you have big goals for this year, but how did you do $15 million last year? That's a lot of transactions. For those that don't know, it's about 50 transactions I think you did plus
53.
last year. 53 transactions last year. Single agent, not on a team.
No.
How do you do it? I know you have assistants, but like literally, like for our agents that might be watching this and like I want to go from 5 to 10 or 10 to 15, what's some tips that you could give them to go and scale up a little bit?
I got a mindset coach.
Okay.
And that really helped me.
All right.
So up until a couple of years ago, I didn't even really like real estate, and it was about just changing my mindset.
Okay.
Like when I was first starting off as an agent, it really wasn't going for me. So I think hiring a coach is like something that I would highly recommend.
Okay. So all you people that came to Tony Robbins?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You weren't here for...
My coach is actually was trained by Tony Robbins.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I love Tony. We went there. I'm sad that he's not doing another UPW live until later this year.
Yeah.
But that every time is just, Matt went with us. And a whole bunch of us. I'm hoping that we can get them back in office again because you weren't here for that. We actually had one of their trainers come in for a couple hours, and that was awesome.
I heard about it. I think I joined right
afterwards. Yeah, because we had just got back from Tony Robbins, and you and I were talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, that's interesting. So he's a Tony Robbins coach, or was a Tony Robbins coach, or whatever. What would you say is the mindset shift that he or she that he like instilled in you that was like, okay, I get it now? What would you say is like the one main thing that he kind of put, like that was a mindset thing that was like, oh, that's it? Do you have one?
I don't have one.
Don't have one. Too many things.
Too many things.
Yeah, I think that's a good fair answer because there is a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
and how long have you been working with it for 2 years straight, or did you?
No.
Okay.
It's been about a year now.
Okay. But yeah, you went from how many deals the year prior to that?
I was doing pretty good. I think I did like 20 transactions, but I did double my business.
Yeah. That's incredible. Very hard to do, even in this crazy market. Is very hard to do.
Well, I was also focusing on other things too, so I did do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And that also came with sacrifices because I did work a lot. You know, like I was saying about the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my goals this year is to delegate more than.
Yeah, we've talked about that. Starting a team, getting people to help you more.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be talking more about that off the podcast, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's one thing that I would recommend. I don't know, your coach, is he also a business coach, or is he just more?
Yeah,
more of
business.
Okay,
business
perfect.
And mindset. Yeah.
Because we stress to our agents when you're at your position where like Salem did $5 million last year. I would recommend to her and anyone that's in the same position, start looking at hiring a business coach.
Yeah.
I hired a business coach before I could afford one. I made it happen and like literally changed everything how it operates here.
I read a really good book, and it's a mindset book, and that's how I got the idea to get on to get a mindset coach. Ninja Sales, I think it's.
Yeah, I've heard about them recently. I don't know much about them, but
I don't remember. It's something Ninja.
Yeah.
For real estate, like if you Google real estate book Ninja.
Okay.
I think it's like Ninja Sales or something like that.
Yeah, I've definitely seen their stuff.
I've
heard it's amazing stuff.
Yeah. See, when I talk about all this, I kind of remember. But it's like you have to read the books to change your mindset too, and to get other things going for you. And so I read that book, and that's when I was like, okay, well, I have to change my mindset so that I can sell more, so that I can do what I want to do. But it's all about just, there's a lot of content out there, whether it's about like retiring early, financial independence, being the best agent, flipping homes. Like so many people are doing it. There's just so much information out there that you can just go out there and see. And I've also hired a real estate coach, and she's been great.
Yeah.
So she's helping me kind of make a strategy on, building a team also, and helping me with my leads and everything.
Perfect.
So it's great.
Lesson learned here, everybody.
Yeah.
To hire mentors, hire coaches, and they don't have to be paid mentors sometimes. Obviously you're paying for those people, but sometimes there are people that will take you under their wing, right? And it's part of like being a team leader that you're going to have. You're going to be mentoring some of these agents.
That's true, yeah.
To walk them through how to be a successful agent, how to work the leads, how to run the leads, what to expect, what to say next, that kind of stuff. I don't want to say it's free mentoring for them because they're going to pay some sort of split to you.
Yeah.
But like it's free mentoring until it closes.
That's true.
It's very true. So the thing is, like, you guys need to learn that also there is stuff out there that is going to be information overload.
Yeah.
You're going to go into analysis process. If you watch too many YouTube videos or you listen to too many podcasts and you don't actually take any action, you're just going to sit here going, I don't know what to do next. And that's where the coach steps in and goes, okay, let's take all that information you just watched or learned and let's take that and put it into actual action steps to go forward.
Yeah.
Because you guys can watch a YouTube video and it's got 6 different videos or 3 different videos to watch next, and it's like, oh, there's a great idea over here and there's a squirrel over there and and you just will literally never do anything.
That's true. And that's why you have a coach, because they can kind of tell you, hey, this is what you need to do, and make sure that you're on track.
Right.
So
like if you're struggling with getting listings, watch a few videos on how to go get more listings and then do the steps.
Yeah.
If you're struggling with getting your buyer's offer accepted, watch some videos or take some training and then go do it. I think that's the biggest thing that drives me crazy, is that especially the younger generation that we were talking about, like, has all the access to everything. The younger generation is willing to take those actions and not have the fear of failure and falling flat on their face. Us older people, at least me, I don't know. Sometimes I'm afraid to take some of that action simply because it's like, it's new, it's weird, it's mindset. And I still make the action, but sometimes I have to like literally like force myself to do it.
Everybody does.
We do. But I think as I have gotten older, it's easier to take the leaps. But sometimes I'm just like,
I feel like now that I'm older, it's harder.
I do. It just depends on what it is. Like sometimes the new technology, again, I'm a pretty tech guy, but some of this stuff just blows my mind that's out
You're
there.
very techie.
I'm very techie.
Very
you
techie.
can see my setup here. Michelle's doing the same thing. But I feel like I'm still way behind some of these other people that are out there.
I can't even compare myself to you.
Yeah.
I don't even want to go there.
I know, we won't have to go down there. And then I'm like throwing this stuff about how we're putting everything on the blockchain here pretty soon. I was like, what the F is that? Oh, yeah, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole today either. But so let's talk a little bit about how you started building your rental portfolio. When did that actually start? Because you're up to 23, right?
Yeah, 23 units.
So how did you start doing that?
I started, well, first of all, we started with live-in flips.
Right.
And then some of the things that we bought, we just turned it into rentals.
Okay.
And in 2018, I didn't really like read any books or listen to any podcasts. Mm-hmm. But then in 2018, I started, listening to podcasts and like reading the books and the forums and everything. And I was like, there's something to this. And that's when and it is hard. Like, it's very hard to take the first step. Mm-hmm. And, I can't really ask an agent because I was the agent, so I didn't really have anybody to ask for.
Right.
And we bought our first duplex in 2018. It was August 2018. And just to kind of tell you how much the rents have appreciated, I was looking at the rents back then, and I was lucky. Like, it was on the top of the market to get $900 for
where is it?
2-1 in Largo.
Okay. Yeah.
And right now it's rented for I think it was like $1,200 or $1,300. It just
crazy,
signed a
isn't
lease.
it?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, and that was so not even 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like talking to Jeremy about some of the bumps that he's done across the board on a lot of these even apartment complexes that he's managing is like it's insanity. Yeah. I mean, I live in Seminole Heights, and there's a place they just built. They finished it last year. Rents are like starting at $2,200. I'm like,
yeah,
holy moly!
And that's why you need to buy a house.
Yes, that is 100% when you need to do that.
Because it is finally cheaper to buy than it is
even with
to
interest
rent.
rates ticking up a little bit, it's still cheaper.
It is cheaper.
It's wild.
Because
there's no inventory to buy sometimes, but
it's harder to find the inventory, but it's not impossible. So.
No, especially if I teach you how to do my ninja marketing to sellers to get them to sell their crappy rental properties. But I think that one of the things that a lot of agents miss, and that's what we've been trying to instill in here for you guys, is by going direct to seller, you're literally creating your own inventory.
Yeah.
So like, even if, say, I'm going to pick on Lauren because I could see her from here. Lauren, she goes out there and she does some seller marketing.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't necessarily have the cash to buy that house. She could wholesale it to you, to me, to Raphael, to anybody in the group that's also flipping houses, right? And so she just says, hey guys, I'll sell you the house, you fix it up, let me list it on the back end. She's created her own inventory. She's created a listing for herself if she doesn't have the cash. Now, hopefully she gets to the point where she's like you, who can buy the house, renovate it, and now you have created your own inventory on the listing side. That's the secret to this market, is going direct to seller, or going to get good deals wholesale off market from good wholesalers that know what they're doing.
Yes.
Buying, renovating, and reselling it as the agent or as the team, and you create your own inventory.
Yeah.
That is the key to all of this right now. And it is
And a lot of agents don't do that.
They don't think they have the resources.
Yeah.
We've got them right here.
Yeah.
We can teach you how to find them. We can fund them. We can get you rehab money for it as well. And all you got to do is then just follow the process. You get all my subcontractors here. If you need them, I can get you my subcontractors if you need any. And same with everybody else. Everyone gets that list when you need it. And so we can help you with that side. We're just trying to make it so that you guys have the ability to generate your own business and literally create the circle. You know, and then you've got, as an agent, the best part is you're obviously always marketing for buyers one way or the other. If you've got a buyer, a pre-qualified buyer, right, that's like they're pre-approved up to $585,000, you can start go shopping for them. You can go shopping in the area they want to go buy for a fix and flip, go buy it, fix it,
and then have something
and then have them ready to go on the back end.
That's true.
It's not rocket science. It's a little harder to learn the process and get the mindset. But like that's how everyone at least should be looking to build their business over time.
That's right.
Create the inventory. And again, like, you know, you've got 23 rentals. At some point you're going to be like washing your hands of those because the market's so good. You've got 23 listings at some point in your future if you decide to ever sell them, right? So I'm not saying you're going to sell them anytime soon, but like you have 23 properties that at some point you will list and sell.
Yeah.
You created your own inventory. You created your own listings. However many years ago or from now that is, you've got it ready to go.
That's true. That's good. Good listing right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And you're the
they're
back
all
end.
Remodeled. And
Yeah, they're all
nice.
remodeled. They're in good shape. They've been cash flowing, so someone might buy them as cash flowing assets. So I know that. We were just talking to Kyle this morning. He like sold his condo because it
didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's just a different mentality. Again, going back to mindset on the investment side that we teach you guys. And I hear a lot of our agents go, "Oh, it's very heavy. We're very heavy on the investments." So like, well, yeah, that's how this all starts.
Yeah.
And you know, if you look back in 2012, 13, and 14, who were the ones driving the market? Us, the investors. We were the ones driving the market because there was very little traditional financing happening. The hedge funds
and you can
stuff.
see that like. You can see that readily on condos because whenever an investor can't come in because they have years of ownership prior to renting out, you can see that the prices of those condos are a lot lower than the ones that you can rent out right away. So you can tell there that the investors are driving the prices.
So before we get out of here, I'd like to see what kind of advice you'd like to give a brand new agent getting started.
Brand new agent. Just listen to podcasts and have somebody that inspires you. I think that would really help. You know, it's like your first year is going to be the hardest.
Always.
And if you, what is it, like the statistic is that like 80% of agents don't make it past the first year or something like that?
It's 80% past the first 2 years.
Past the first 2 years? Okay. If you can make it past the first 2 years, it's going to be worth it. You know?
Yeah.
But it's not for everybody.
It's not.
A lot of people come in like thinking that it's very easy. It's not. So I would just say that if it's something that you enjoy, just stick with it, and it will pay pay it on the back end. So
perfect. So last thing I want to ask is, like I always ask everyone this. So let's talk about a crazy story that you might have that was on maybe the traditional side of real estate, if you've got one, where, again, the premise of this podcast is to make sure that the general public knows how hard it is to be a real estate agent, so that they understand that you're earning every bit of that 2.5% to 3% of the commission. So like when you see people or companies wanting to commission cut, it's really not fair to the agent because of all the things you guys have to do on the back end that literally the customers never see because you're not telling them, or you don't want to show them because it's sometimes crazy stuff happens on the back end. So you have anything that comes to mind when?
Yeah, I actually have 2 stories.
Okay.
One of them, this seller came to me because he was a for sale by owner.
Okay.
And he did good. He staged the home. He did some things that I was pretty impressed by, but he didn't really understand the terms. And so he was under contract for a house, like he was selling his home, and the buyer's agent needed an extension. And it was past the 30 days. The financing fell through, but he signed an extension, and he also signed the mortgage contingency along with it. And he didn't know. He could have, if he didn't sign that mortgage contingency with the extension, he could have gotten a $5,000 deposit. So he basically waited for 45 days. He didn't get the deposit, and he walked away with nothing. We ended up selling his home. It was the highest sold in the neighborhood, so he was
loved you after that.
Yeah, he did. And then another story I have is, so I had a seller that wanted to be there, when the agents came through. They had a very, very nice house. It was a pool house by the water, and sometimes clients don't really listen to what you say. So the first people that came over there, and it was a hot market. It's still a hot market, and he had some experience with real estate prior, and the first people that came, there was an agent. It was a cash buyer from up north, and they wanted to give him cash, full price offer, and he kind of verbally accepted it, and I had to, after he told me, of course, I was very angry, but I was not happy about it, but in the end, I talked with the buyer's agent, and we had a couple of other showings. I made them up the offer by $25,000.
Very nice.
So I saved him $25,000, which was huge.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the thing is there's so many things on the back end that we do to make sure that our clients and customers get the absolute best service so that they don't shoot themselves in the foot.
Well, it's about the knowledge. So you really have to know, they didn't know that they could have gotten more for that house, right? Yep. So that was a lot of work because I had to spend the whole day trying to convince these people to give us $25,000 more. But I knew from my experience that the house was, that it was going to get a lot of traction, and it didn't have to pass appraisal because it was cash. Right. So that was really important because it wouldn't have passed appraisal.
Gotcha.
But it was a really nice house, and they agreed to it. So
Very
it was
cool.
a good ending story. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, awesome. Thank you, Nina, for coming on today and sharing your knowledge.
Me.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. So, again, guys, if you liked what you hear today from Nina and myself, please make sure you are subscribing to us on YouTube, on Apple, and or Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Please give us a rating and review. It really helps bump us up in the ratings so people can see us and get more exposure to the general masses to let them know about what we're doing here at Outfast Realty. So, again, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Closer's Corner podcast.
Bye. DJ, say that.
Back. Hands up.